Hey guys, welcome to this new video. In this video, I want to give you an update about the situation here in Vietnam and especially the news that was just released over the last weeks for Saigon. So you may have seen my previous video and the trip I had in Phu Quoc. So it was amazing and it was very nice to see the city, being alive again, people enjoying time outside, gathering a lot, having plenty of fun activities. And of course, the weather was here, the food was amazing, the people were, very welcoming again, the domestic tourism in Phu Quoc. So actually, it's good to see everything getting back to normal, but there are still some few items and recent news that may lead to less optimistic situation. So in this video, I want to give you the clear picture, so you will see what's the good side that what happened recently, as well as more the downside at what may happen in the next upcoming weeks or months. So the first big news about Vietnam is that the city become green. So actually for 6 months around, the government put different colors on cities. And so basically if a city is safe, if people can go out, there is not a lot of restriction, they will categorize the city as green. And nowadays in Ho Chi Minh City, almost the whole city is green. So there are still some districts such as Binh Tan district, Tô Duc, District 1, the district that we are here, and District 10 that are still categorized as yellow, just because there are more cases around, the virus is still spreading, but still everything is under control right now in those specific districts. So you can go to restaurants, you can go to coffee, bars are open. I mean, life is almost as it used to be before. The second good news that I'm leading to is about the bar, karaoke, spa reopening in Saigon. So actually they've been putting some limitation on those specific business lines. So if you run a restaurant, if you run a coffee, you could open until now, but still there were some limitation on the bar, karaoke, spa, etc. And now everything is back to more normal. So even if over the last weeks we could still go to some bar, on some specific hidden corner, the bar that are located inside the building, everything was open. You may know how it works in Vietnam, but right now it's official and everything is back to normal. So expats, locals, everyone can enjoy the activities that used to have before. So this is actually a very good news to really show that the economy starts to recover. Obviously people, going out, etc. is a good sign that everything is back to normal, but there are still some concern, is that because obviously some salary has been cut, some people lost their job. Some interviews made recently from some journalists of Vietnam Express interviewing bar owners and then spa owners, they still highlight that they see less people that is used to have before the lockdown. And actually what was highlighted from those interviews is that locals are still scared and there is still a fear about Omicron entering Vietnam. We had around 20 cases over the last weeks of Omicron variant. So obviously this is still a concern that may still be there for the next upcoming weeks. Obviously we saw the rise of this variant in South Africa, in UK, in Europe in general, with more than 100,000 cases per day in some countries. So that may also come to Vietnam one day. Right now some experts are already pointing that this wave can come here. So that's why there is some concern in reopening everything as it used to be, just because people are scared of another big outbreak. And as you may know, Tet is coming very soon, in 20 days. So this is the big gathering and the new year that Vietnamese celebrate. it's very important for them to gather with their families, to go back to their hometown. So you imagine that there will be a lot of turnover in the cities in Vietnam, many crowds going from the big cities like Saigon, Hanoi, back to their hometown. So authorities start to be scared about what may happen at that time. And there are already some parts of Vietnam, especially in the north, and they start to put some restriction to prevent people to go back to their hometown. And the situation right now in Ho Chi Minh City is that if you go out, if you go to some restaurants, bar, they may ask you to scan a flash code. So usually they want to implement the similar things that you may have in your country overseas. So you have to show that you got the double shots from the vaccine, as well as you need to use, the common sanitarized principles such as cleaning your hands, wearing your mask, etc. But as soon as you enter in those places, you can take everything out and then just gather back group as it used to be before. Now, finally, the fourth and maybe biggest news of the month is that they're gonna stop to just re-extend the tourist visa as it used to do until now. So if you don't know about that, it's like from March 2020, since the border opened, all the tourists, so the foreign tourists who were in Vietnam, government just decided to extend and re-extend every month the tourist visa. So people could stay here from March 2020 until now. Some people has to pay, some people just got automatic extensions, and now the government will stop to allow those people to extend their visa. Why? Because there start to be international flights coming to Vietnam, so people can also leave very easily the country. Most of the countries worldwide are open, so you can easily come back to your country. But the most important thing is that Vietnam wants to start to allow tourists. There've been already a sandbox running in Phu Quoc, in specific other locations in Vietnam, allowing international tourists to come. So obviously they need to regulate all the number of tourists who are right now in Vietnam, ask those people either to be in good standing and choose another type of visa, such as a working visa, an investor visa, or ask those people to leave the country. So right after putting this measure, they will be able to let more people come to Vietnam, and those people, they may have another visa policy for them to come here for a couple of weeks and to maybe extend to a couple of months. So right now, actually, on most of the expat groups and also from the news shared by the embassies, there have been a lot of people asking directly the immigration to start to know what is their current situation and to see what's the solution they have in their hands to be in a good standing. So basically, those people will have to avoid being in overstay here, because if they stay in overstay, they may have fine and they may even be put on the blacklist. This is something that is commonly used in Vietnam. So if right now you are in this situation, you can just check what's the best solution for you. Usually you have two ways. It's either you find a job and then you will have a work permit that can lead you to a TRC, which is a temporary residency card, or you can also choose to open a business, invest, and you can be potentially eligible to an investor visa. If you want to learn more about this, you can check below in the description. I will leave one link. You can click on it. There will be a form on the page. We can get in touch with each other. Tell me what's your situation. I will try to give you an honest answer and tell you what is the most appropriate for you. Hope you guys enjoy this video. You see, there is some good news and some concern that may pop up in Vietnam in the next upcoming weeks. But the good thing is that right now everyone is enjoying again life outside. Restaurants, bars are very packed. I used to hang out over the last weeks, and then it's really good to see Vietnam like bouncing back and everyone, getting the smile on the face again. And the next big thing will be like what will happen for all the international tourists who want to come to Vietnam. If you enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up and I see you in the next video. Thank you, bye bye.
Down and I'ma get it right, dead on sight like